Backed. I'm back. I'm backed. It's December, fellas. You know what that means? It's time for Jameson.
Reaper is my friend. Reaper is a friend of mine. I'm gonna go and get my little sack of weed. I'm gonna go and smoke my weed to get my THC. I've had things before, like ice and laughing gas. Nothing does the thing for me like grass. Reaper is a friend.
All right, fellas. I know I haven't been here every week, but I'm going to try to end strong here on the season. Kind of a little review of the year up to this point. We got week 13 coming up. Still 2 playoff spots available, I believe, or just one? Yeah, I should probably should look that up before we started here. 2 playoff spots still up for grabs. But we're going to start at the top. Mondo Vision, 9-3, still top of the league. Followed closely by Captain Curl's crew. Captain Curl's crew, the big win over Mondo Vision last week. So Mondo Vision's at 9-3 with 1,421 points. Captain Curl's crew's 8-4 with 1,485 points. So Jake is about 64 points behind Curly for the season total points. Looks like Curly's got a decent lead there, but anything can happen. Huge week from Mondo, and no Gronk this week. So, hey, he still has a shot at that. Captain Curl's crew with a win, and if Mondo loses, that means Curly would win the regular season total, unless it was some sort of crazy, goofy thing with the points where Curly won with 64 points and Jake lost with 130, which, hey, it could happen, but looks as if Curly wins and Mondo loses, Curly wins $400, 200 for regular season winner, and 200 for high points. So something to shoot for there, Curly. You're playing for something for sure, going for that number 1 seed. Not that the seeds really matter. You just get to play the last guy in, but definitely some money up for grabs at the top of the league this week. Mondo Vision, led by Carson Palmer. I think he's probably the number 1 quarterback in the league. I did not look it up, but that would be my gut. Or Brady. DeAndre Hopkins has been a monster all year. Todd Gurley, probably the number 1 pick next year. Hopefully, looks like Ollie had the number 1, number 2 pick. So hopefully he falls to me at 1 or 2 next year. Gary Barnes has been a monster for you. A great pickup there. Pats D, I'm sure you love rooting for them every week. Latavius Murray's been solid. So, solid team all around. Big bat on the bench. Good depth, great management this year, Jake. Nice pickups. 1 down year for Jake. He won it 2 years ago, and now he's back on top for the time being. So great year. I'm in another league with him. He's in second place in that with a shot at first as well. Curly, Pat's Nation over there. You got Brady and Gronk. It was great at the beginning of the year. You didn't really have Gronk then, but I know you gave up a lot to get him, including Tyler Eifert, who leads the league in touchdowns, and Devontae Freeman, huge year for him. So, you got Brady, Gronk, Odell Beckham, Fitz, Darren McFadden's been a, great find for you this year. So, really solid team. I'm sure you're a little worried about Gronk getting injured on Sunday night, but it looks like it's not going to be that bad. Maybe just miss 1 game. We shall see. So clearly the top 2 teams in the league, but get them in the playoffs 1 week, anything can happen, fellas. We all know that. So, big props to Curly and Jake. Great year so far. Definitely the 2 favorites going into the playoffs. Fresh out of Fox, I've been giving you shit all year. 7-5. I think he started off 4-0, maybe 5-0, but Phillip Rivers, Antonio Brown. Solid years out of those guys. He's been on the Marshall plan all year. I highly recommend the Marshall plan. You got to do what you got to do. Really weak at running back. You got Frank Gore, Forte. And you got some guy, Javoris Allen from Baltimore. Don't really know who he is. Bradshaw just went on IR, so you're gonna have to rely on Rivers and AB to carry you. It could happen. I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna, but you got your work cut out for you, kid. But you've been proving me wrong all year. Lots of changes in your life. Moved in with your girl. I think yesterday, Flinter said he helped you move in, so congrats on that. Getting married in the spring. Maybe fantasy football titles in your future. Sunday Funday. Life changing for you, reader. Troby's weak sauce is that you start off 0-3. I give you all sorts of shit. Your defense was terrible the first 3-4 weeks. You had negative points. And then you spent like $38 on Denver D. And since you did that, your team has been on fire. You lost Andrew Luck. He's been very disappointing for you this year. But Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, putting up some big points for you at the quarterback position. I think Luck's coming back. You have some decisions to make. It's going to be tough to bench Luck, but the Colts seem to be doing just fine doing that strategy as well. Julio Jones started off like a monster, been cooling down as of late, but still put some good numbers for you. Randall Cobb's been very disappointing for you all year, but looks like him and Rodgers are starting to click, so thanks a lot for that, Aaron. You're a great guy. Alfred Blue, since another one of my guys went down for the year. Foster, Blue stepped up a lot. Lamar Miller, since they made the coaching change, been getting a lot of touches, a lot of yards, a lot of points. TJ Yeldon's been surprisingly durable this year. And that Landry kid in Miami just had a big game last week. He's a big sleeper this year. A lot of people liked him, so maybe he'll start stepping up for you. Troby's weak sauce, I think he won like 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6. Definitely been doing good lately. John the Revelator, you start off, I think, 0-2. I made a nice trade with you. I gave you Allen Robinson, somebody else, Cam. I got Cam, I don't know. But Breeze, the Saints, they're a 7-point dog at home this weekend. You ever imagine that? 7 points for the Saints at home? Breeze not having a great year, but still put up some fantasy points. Adrian Peterson quietly having a huge year. Nobody's talking about him. I guess that's what happens when you beat your kids. Jonathan Stewart, a guy I've always hated, been very reliable for you this year. Panthers surprise team of the year, looking really solid. You had Cam, I had Cam. I had to trade him back to you. I traded him Lotano. He's been tossed around, but. Sammy Watkins, big game last week. I know Troby had him on his bench in the other league, but if he starts playing good, you're definitely a team to be reckoned with here in the playoffs with AP and Jay Stu. I wouldn't want to face Sal in the playoffs, especially if Breeze has anything left in the tank there. And then the Sound Seed Choir, the league's official Christian disco band. Many hits out there. I do encourage you to Google funny Christian rock songs, and they're pretty fucking hilarious. Check it out. I'll try to make a post later about it. But definitely some knee slapping, snorting shit out there. So check that shit out. Sunseed Bortles been huge. Amari Cooper, Doug Martin. What the hell's that guy on? He's found the fucking Fountain of Youth or something. He's been awesome. Shady McCoy's been stepping up. Amendola had a couple of huge games there. Got hurt. Might be back this week. And Carolina D. Cheers, Carolina. They're best team in football right now, right? Right, Denver? Just want to remind everybody, it's possible 100 points, $100 out there this week. All you gotta do is score 188.83 points or higher, and you win the high weekly score for the year, and you win the weekly points, and that's $100. So even if your team's like mine, really shitty, and like 3 starting running backs on IR, Chris Johnson, Foster, and Lev Bell, yeah, keep it up, guys. Hey, I have a shot at winning $100 this week. Probably not going to happen, but I got a shot. If Rodgers throws 7 touchdowns and D'Angelo Williams plays pretty good and Eddie Lacy catches 5 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers, that would be clutch. That's what I need. 5 touchdown passes, Rodgers to Lacey, and I got a shot at this $100. So that's up there. Sansi Choir actually had high points again this week. It's at least 2 for you. It might even be 3. I didn't do a ton of research, but a little bit. I got a sheet full of paper here. Look at all this stuff. High points last week, 148 points versus Lucas Polidoro, who's had the high points versus him at least 4 times this year. Scotty, good week. I was giving you shit all year too, but Bortles, you found a QB in Bortles. Fuck Peyton Manning, right? Team to reckon with. All right, the rest of you guys, you have that little asterisk next to your name, so I'm just going to kind of talk some scenarios here. There's 2 slots up. There's 4 teams fighting for them. Trey's Funday crew at 6-6. You win, you're in. That simple, guy. Win, you're in. You lose, and you're falling back with all these other teams. We got 3 teams at 5-7. We got Pardon Me, I Farted. I never say pardon me. I'm more of an excuse me kind of guy. Down to Chiclet. I think he's got it back up, and he's lost it again. And you're going to have to ask Reader if he still had the Chiclet on moving day. Down to Chiclet at 5-7, and Capozzi at 5-7. Capozzi, your team, you had like 2 weeks in a row. You barely scored over 120 points in 2 weeks. But hey, you're 2 games ahead of me, and you're in the playoff hunt. So, Pardon Me, I Farted has got 1,287 points. Down Chiclet has 1,246, and Capozzi has 1,221. So 66 points separating the 3 of them. Pardon Me, I Farted. You could still lose and get in, although I would not recommend it. I think if you win, you're most likely in, as long as Flinter doesn't score more than 22 points than you do this week. So. You score 98, Flinter scores 121, you both win. Then Aiken, you're most likely out, and Flinter, you're in. Although, Trey's Funday crew, who's at 6-6, has 1,252 points. So just 6 more than Flinter and 35 less than Aiken. So, Tano, you lose, and Flinter and DA win, you're probably out, guy. So, down at Chiclet, you're playing I Hate Tom Brady, the team who has given up the most points, weekly high points in the league. So 4 times this year, and a total of 1,452 points in the season. That's by far the most. So, hey, Inky, you can play spoiler. You hate Tom Brady, that's the name of your team. Flair loves Tom Brady, and he's down a Chiclet, and Brady's on a Gronk. So something could happen here, Luke. Capozzi, you need a lot of help, buddy, but you're in luck, buddy, because you're playing Mayor McCheese. And Mayor McCheese is the worst fucking manager in all fantasy football. 2 weeks in a row, I've had guys with 20 plus, 30 plus points on my bench, just sitting there, hanging out. The guys that start lineup scored half a point, 3 points, 4 points. So I'm sure I'm going to fuck that up somehow this week. So you pretty much have a win locked up. And you just need to outscore Aiken or Flinter and have them both lose, and you're in. So that's kind of the scenarios as of right now, guys. I need another Jameson. But like I said, $100 up for grabs. Not guaranteed someone's win $100 this week, but you could win $100 this week. Score more than 188 points, and you get $100. I still need to get paid from like 4 or 5 of you guys. I've talked to a few of you. You have a plan. Say it's coming. It's in the mail. It doesn't count until I have it. So 7 paid, 5 not paid in full. Of those 5, 2 of you have kind of reached out to me and said, this is the plan. Cool. There's 3 of you I've kind of talked to, and I get the, don't worry, you'll get your money, and I believe you. But like I said, nobody's getting paid until I get paid from everybody else. I'll post a video either next week. I'm going to try to do it next week. Recapping everybody's winnings, weekly winnings, all that fun jazz. Recapping wins at points, although it's on the website if you know how to read and add numbers and know which number's bigger. You can figure it out, but I'll still mention it in a video somehow, some way. Until then, guys, keep up the good work. 8 of you are going to make the playoffs, and one of those 8 is going to win the league this year. That's a big accomplishment. You get a football. You get to make a rule, although nobody's made a rule in the last, 4 or 5 years, except for Jake. So, Jake wins again. He gets another rule. Let's make a rule that Jake can't make a rule or something. I don't know. Troby, I need a rule from you. Aiken, I need a rule from you. Just give me something. Give me something stupid. Jay Reed has to wear a bikini to the draft. I don't know. Figure out something like that. Until then, fellas, peace out. Enjoy the games this weekend. It's been a great season. I'm very disappointed in my performance, but one performance I'm very happy with is the good old Sansi Choir.
Reaper is a friend. Reaper is my friend. Reaper is a friend. I have a friend in Reaper. Reaper is a friend. Reaper is my friend. Reaper is a friend of mine. I'm gonna go and get my little sack of weed. I'm gonna go and smoke my weed to get my THC. I've heard things before, like ice and laughing gas. Nothing does the thing for me like grass. Reaper is a friend of mine. Reaper is my friend. Reaper is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Reaper. Reaper is a friend of mine. Reaper is my friend. Reaper is a friend.
I'm going to let go to the second verse.
I got a little bag of Acapulco Gold. I take my little bud of ganja, stick it in a bowl. I'm making me a split out of a pinch of Mary Jane. I just wish I could get some purple haze. Reaper is a friend of mine. Reaper is my friend.
We'll go 3 verses.
I have a friend in Reaper. Reaper is a friend of mine. Reaper is a friend of mine. Reaper is a friend of mine.